guys, Mr. Second Passport here. Today I'm gonna cover one value trap you should not fall for if you're looking for real estate on the beach in Ecuador. Now I'm gonna take as an example San Clemente, Ecuador. It's a small town just north of Manta. I'm not trying to pick on San Clemente or anything, but it's a good example of kind of all the small towns on the coast of Ecuador. Right, here's some pictures. It's a beautiful beach, one of the sunniest beaches in all the coast of Ecuador, pretty much. And it's dry most of the year, 9-10 months a year. It's pretty dry. And like most towns on the coast, it has a front line or a malecon or a boardwalk where there's a nice row of houses. And then there are a few roads behind that. The value trap I'm going to talk about today, it's kind of like the same thing when we're talking about maybe buying a stock. You know, it's that steel stock that has a PE, a price to earnings ratio of like 2 or 3 or something, right? So if it's so cheap, then why doesn't anyone buy it? Well, usually there's a reason, right? So when you're looking for property on the coast of Ecuador, you might be tempted to buy a block or two back off the beach, right? Like here in these areas here. And you can find really cheap stuff that's going to be super tempting. You can find lots for like 3 or 4 grand. You might be able to find a house that probably needs some work for like 20 or 30. But there's a few reasons why I suggest avoiding this, what I call value trap, because you know it might look good, like a good deal. It might look cheap, but you should still stay away from it as far as a purchase goes. Renting, doesn't matter. So a few things you should know before buying back here is, you know, the wind off the nice onshore breeze that you get on the front line. You're not going to get that so much back here, a few blocks, even just a few blocks back off the beach. And because of that, it's going to be hotter. You're going to have to run the AC a lot more. I know people who live front line who don't have to run the AC at all, and their house is fine because of that nice ocean breeze. But you don't get that a block or 2 or 5 blocks back. So you're not going to get the wind, which means it's going to be hotter, and the mosquitoes are going to start coming out too. You're going to have to run the AC a lot, which obviously is probably not good for the health, and it's more expensive on the electric bill too. And heaven forbid you want to sell the place. Say you've bought into the value trap, so to speak, and now you want to sell the place. You'll be lucky if you even get your money back a lot. It's just not very liquid. There's not that many people, especially foreigners, looking for property back here. That's why a lot of this area back here, which is my next reason, stays rather undeveloped, you know, with like nice holes and just overgrown vacant lots and stuff. And it's just not as nice, and it's often darker too. You might not get the nice street lights that you'd get front line of the ocean. So now you can buy front line. There is things still available. It's obviously often a lot more expensive, but it's worth it. Or you could consider back here sometimes in some towns on the coast, you can get a nice ocean view. So ocean view or beachfront is probably the way you want to go. I wouldn't buy just a few blocks back off the ocean. It's not very liquid. It's going to be hotter. You're going to have more mosquitoes. And it's just generally not as developed, maybe not as lit as other areas of the town like on the beach are. So anyway, that's it. Don't fall for this value trap. Don't buy off the ocean in these small towns in Ecuador. It's just not a great idea. I'm Mr. Second Passport. Take care.